Oh, he's running. Oh, there we go. There we go. You guys, let me tell you something. If you are not, or you don't have a football jig in your arsenal when it's wintertime, anytime really, you are missing out on one of the best bites. This is the War Eagle football jig, brand new to the line. We've got two sizes, a 1/2 ounce and 3/4. Let's break this sucker down and I'll tell you all about it. So the football jig is not new by any means to fishing. It's probably one of the older jigs or older techniques that's out there in regards to jig fishing. But at War Eagle, we wanted to change and make a couple things different on this bait and kind of fine tune it for what we were specifically looking for and what our pro staff wanted. And so you'll see on the head itself, it's not a true traditional football shape. There's more of a pointed line tie where that line tie is actually recessed into the head. In this design also the hook was a really big thing for us, and it's extremely important to get the right hook for it. A lot of times when you're fishing a football jig, you're making long casts. And so if you've got a really big, beefed up, thick, high wire or a high wire gauge hook, it makes it a little bit harder to set that hook and get good penetration. So we wanted to kind of meet in the middle and have a strong hook, but kind of fine wire so that penetration, when you do set the hook on a long cast, it's really quick and can pierce through the bone. The weed guard was another very important feature that we wanted, and you're kind of a fine line between too stiff and then too soft. And with a football jig, you're typically fishing rock, so a really stiff weed guard is not really needed. Typically you want a really stiff weed guard when you're fishing around wood, flipping and pitching. We wanted to make sure we put a really good weed guard in there that was just stiff enough to protect that hook, but then also easy, flexible enough that it won't interfere when that fish bites it. All right, the benefit of this head design and the way it's shaped is it allows that bait to crawl over the rocks and transition and swivel. And what you want in a really good football jig is one of those that when it hits rock, it will either rotate left or right, side to side like this, and not bury down into that crevice or that rock. And the way that we've designed that gives you that feature. When it hits a rock, it doesn't dig in. It will either rotate left or right and allow you to roll over that rock. Colors are extremely important at War Eagle, and if you're a War Eagle fan, we've got killer colors. And not only spinner baits, but our jigs too. It's one of those things that we kind of pride ourselves on at War Eagle, creating really realistic colors. And with the Pro Football Jig, we didn't skimp on that either. You know, we've got great colors like Frank's Blue Craw, GP Orange, natural, colors that will work in any water clarity and condition that you're looking at. When you think about jig fishing, typically guys will think about, specifically a football, you think about, well, it's a wintertime cold, fall, late fall, early throughout the winter, early spring maybe. But really, if you've got you're fishing the right area and the right conditions, you can catch them year round on a football jig. And really, area-wise, it's so versatile. It doesn't matter if it's a river system like we're fishing now, or a highland reservoir that's really clear. It's really effective. So it's a really simple bait to fish. All you do is cast out, let it hit the bottom, and then you begin to slowly drag that jig back, and you're feeling the bottom, whatever it is. If it's pea gravel, slate rock, ledge rock like we're fishing. And all it's doing is emulating a crawfish that's scurrying through that rock, and that's how you're gonna get your bites. And those will feel like two things. Just heavy dead weight. You may not feel that fish pick it up. It'll feel like heavy dead weight. You reel down to it, he'll be swimming with it by then, and then you'll set the hook. And then the other one would be that hard thump, like a Texas rig bite. And you're gonna do the same thing. Once you feel that thump, you're gonna reel down to it, make sure he's got it in his mouth, and then you're gonna set that hook with no slack. Throwing a football jig is a super easy technique that anybody can do, especially in the wintertime when those fish are right on the bottom around cover. Check out the War Eagle Pro Football Jig.